Hi there, this is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com, and in this video we're going to do the full review for this Sony Xperia Ion. And you might be wondering, why am I reviewing this phone now? Because this was launched around 7 or 8 months back. The thing is that, at least in India, the price of this Sony Xperia Ion has come down significantly. When it was launched, it was around rupees 34,000. Now you can get this Xperia Ion for around 21,000 to 21,500. And for that price, I think so this is an incredible deal. And let me talk about the specs. It sports a 1.5 GHz dual-core processor. It has 1 GB of RAM, and the GPU on this is an Adreno 220. And the internal storage is 16 GB, and also this flap can open like this, and you can add a micro SD card up to 32 GB. You can insert your standard SIM card over here. The battery is a 1900 milliampere battery, but it's not user replaceable. It's sealed inside. And if we look at this camera, it's a 12 megapixel camera with LED flash. Here we have the opening for the speaker grill, the Sony Xperia logo, and this is not some cheap plastic or anything like that. The body is aluminum, and the fit and feel of the phone is very good. It's a very premium looking phone, and it's a very solidly built phone, I would say. There's no creaking noise or anything like that. Also, another good thing is that the screen on this is a 720p HD screen. That means it has a resolution of 720 by 1280, coming to a PPI of around 334 or so, and hence everything is really crisp on the phone. And also the phone is actually very fluid to operate. In my testing, I hardly faced any lags or anything like that. So again, as I said, with the new Indian pricing that we can get this phone, it's an incredible deal. And before I proceed to the review, I want to thank Faisal Communications for providing this unit for review. Now let's look at the Android version that we get. And the Android version that we get is 4.0.4, that is Ice Cream Sandwich. Sony has mentioned that this phone will get the Jelly Bean update, so you should expect that. And one little con that I have is that though they have put a very good gorgeous screen on this, and it also supports the mobile Bravia engine, if you go to the brightness tab, there is no auto brightness sensor on this phone. So that's one little con that I have with this one. But in terms of the screen quality, it's excellent. And just look at the black levels. It's truly black, and the viewing angles are also very good. Coming to the storage, as I told you, it comes with 16 GB of internal storage. I also added a 8 GB SD card. Though it's divided in two parts, phone memory and internal storage, but I have noticed that you can install heavy apps, and most of the apps data is installed automatically to internal storage. Also, I tried installing apps to SD, and that also works. So in terms of storage, you shouldn't have any problems with this phone. Now coming to the call quality, the call quality that I got was also excellent. It was very clear, and we have the earpiece over here, and we also have the front facing camera. That's a 1.3 megapixel, and this can also shoot video in 720p. Again, at the bottom, as you can see, we have these 4 touch type capacitive buttons. That's the menu, home, back, and the search key. If you hold this home button for a while, you get the ICS style multitasking tray that you get. So again, as I told you, actually the phone is very fluid to operate, and it runs on the Sony Timescape UI. And you can do this gesture by which you can access all the active widgets that are running. Also, as I told you earlier, the screen is very good, and actually the phone is very comfortable to hold, and it gives you that premium feeling. Now I'm connected to my Wi-Fi network. The only con that I feel is that we do not have these quick toggles over here, and Sony does provide this widget, but it would have been better if they could have provided this, quick toggles that we are seeing in most of the Android phones these days. Now let me just fire up the web browser, and we're going to use Chrome web browser. And as you can see, it's going to load our Tech2Buzz website, and let's go to the home page. And as you can see, it loads it fairly quickly, I would say, and the pinch to zoom gesture is also very smooth. I tested this phone a lot with web browsing, and the experience was very good, I have to say. Let's open up the story, the Sony Xperia Z and the ZL. And let's change the orientation, and we have a YouTube video that's embedded. Let's try to play it back.
Hi there, this is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com, and in this video we're going to compare the two hottest Android phones by Sony, the Sony Xperia Z and the ZL. Both the phones are...
So as you can see, it can play back that also without any issues. And actually the speakerphone is also pretty loud, I would say, but it's a little bit shrill to my liking. So in terms of web browsing also, you shouldn't have any problems with this phone. Now coming to media playback also, here the experience was very good, and another good thing is that this phone does support the USB OTGs. So you can open this flap, actually you can open this flap and you get access to the USB, and it also supports a micro HDMI, so you can connect this to your television, but you have to purchase this micro HDMI to HDMI cable separately, because Sony does not bundle that. Now I'm going to attach this pen drive to this phone, and it should detect here. As you can see, it detected the USB storage, and now I have two videos that are there. I'm going to use the MX player. For example, if I go back, USB disk, as you can see, these are the two videos, and we're going to play it back directly from this pen drive. And I'm going to start over. Also, I have to, the screen quality is very good, and the black levels, as you can see, are just awesome. So the experience for video watching is also very good, and this is a 720p video clip, and as you can see, it plays it back without any issues. And it's very clear and smooth. It does not skip any frames or anything like that. So it's pretty good for video watching also. Let me get out of this one. And this is a 1080p clip. Let's try to watch this one also. As you can see, this one also plays without any issues. And this is a high bit rate video. Then also it plays without any skipping of frames. So again, in terms of video playback, the experience is very good and you won't be disappointed. So let me get out of this. Let me just remove this USB cable. You shouldn't do that, but just for the video, you have to eject it first. I'm just going to clear it. So again, in terms of media playback also, it is very good. Now coming to the camera, the rear facing camera is a 12 megapixel shooter. And I would say here, there is a hit and a miss. Let me show you quickly. Let's open up this camera app. And we don't get this tap to focus functionality. And one thing I found is that it does take quite a while in low lighting conditions, particularly to focus. Once it focuses, the pictures you can take are pretty fast. For example, let me put this and let's try to take this photo. Actually, I've done an in-depth review regarding the camera performance, so you can check out this video for more info regarding that. But overall, I would say outdoors the camera is very good. The pictures come out to be very sharp. Indoors also it does a very good job, but at times there is a little bit of noise. But in video department, due to the autofocusing, I was not very happy with this. But again, check out this video in which I do an in-depth review of the camera performance with samples. Now moving towards the front-facing camera, I just tested it with Skype and it worked fine and it was pretty clear. Also in terms of gaming, this phone was very good and I could play very high-end games also. For example, the Modern Combat 4, Dead Trigger, casual games like Subway Surfer, Temple Run 2. Again, I've done an in-depth review regarding the gaming performance, so you can check out this video for the gaming performance. Also in terms of benchmark also, I've got very good results. Again, in that same gaming video, I've also done the benchmark. Again, I would say pretty good results for a dual-core processor benchmark. So in terms of performance, you won't have any problems with the phone, though it's not a quad-core phone, but dual-core is more than enough. And in my day-to-day testing with this phone, I hardly faced any issues of lags or anything like that. The only little con is that as of now, I did not get the Jelly Bean update, and I hope Sony releases the Jelly Bean update quickly for this phone. Now let us also test the Compass app, and Sony did not skimp on any sensors. As you can see, the Compass app works fine. Also, let's test this multi-touch points, and actually it's tracking, it tracks about 10 fingers actually, all the 10 fingers. As you can see, it tracks up to 10 fingers. So again, that's excellent. Now coming to the keyboard, let me show you the keyboard. Again, the phone is a little bit narrow, so the keyboard is a bit narrow, but within a day or so, you should be able to master it, and also it works in this orientation. And let me also show you, it also has the voice dictation feature, so let's test that. This is a test for the voice dictation on this Sony phone. So again, as you can see, it made some mistakes, but overall it works fine. So again, in keyboard also you shouldn't have any problem. One thing, as I told you, the speakerphone is a little bit chill to my liking. Let me just show you by opening this app, Savan app, and let's just play some random, what do you say, song. And if you place the phone down, it becomes loud. And it's sufficiently loud. So let me just stop this one. In terms of loudness, I don't have any problem, but it's a little bit chill at max volume, I would say. So how do I feel about this phone? Considering the current price of this phone, that's around 21,500 in India, I feel it's an excellent deal because the build quality is superb. It's aluminum metallic feel. It doesn't feel cheap, and it gives a very premium look. Things that I don't like is that I don't like this flap because you have to open it every time if you want to charge the phone like that. I'm not a big fan of these flaps. The battery, as I said, is a 1900 milliampere battery, and it's non-removable. And with my medium usage, I was able to get around 16 to 17 hours of usage, and the battery dropped to around 25%. So I would say with medium usage, it will work for one day fine. But again, you need to charge the phone every day. The only con that I feel with the phone is the camera, specifically in the video recording department. As I said, it has some problems with autofocusing. So if you plan to shoot a lot of videos, then you might not be happy with this phone. But overall, I would say I'm very impressed with this phone. And at the current price point in India, I would certainly say that if your budget is around 20,000 or so, have a serious look at this phone. The other competitors to this phone is the new Samsung Galaxy S2 Plus. But again, do remember the S2 Plus doesn't have a 720p HD screen. This has a 720p HD screen. So I hope you found this video review helpful. That's it for now. This is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com, and I hope to see you in my next video.